In this video, we'll be talking about the company that has been nothing but a pioneer in the field of audio technology. First shotgun mic, those long elongated mics that vloggers, YouTubers, and even filmmakers use. Yes, those mics. The first shotgun mic ever was made by none other than Sennheiser. Sennheiser has been nothing but pivotal for the innovations that have taken place in audio equipment. In 2021, Sennheiser sold off their consumer business to completely focus on their pro audio business. Whenever there is a discussion about professional audio content or audio production, Sennheiser is definitely among the names that is the most trusted. And there's a reason behind it. You see, the brand was founded in 1945. On June 1 this year, the brand will complete 80 full years. So, we are about to enter the hotel and interview Sennheiser's co-CEO, Dr. Andreas Sennheiser, who, by the way, has been with the company since 2010 and became co-CEO in 2013. I hope you like the full interview. Hi. This is a very good product, by the way.
Thank you.
So while I was waiting there, I was just messing with it. And so multiple modes.
It's a multi-tool.
Yes.
Multi-tool for the audio.
Yes.
Recorder.
Which makes me wonder the Sennheiser story in India. How is the Indian market different for Sennheiser? How important is it for Sennheiser? And basically, what is the philosophy for the company's business in the country?
Yeah. So we started more than 16 years ago here in India. So we were here with a small team of 3 people, just trying to understand the market. At the time, the concept of headphone was only known as an accessory for a phone. So really listening to music wasn't even known. So we developed actually the market for music consumption on the go with our entry to the Indian market. So we found this was a very interesting market because it had the opportunity to leapfrog a lot of technologies that other countries had gone through decades of using technology in a certain way. And while India was really fresh in accepting newest technology, we saw an opportunity to really go to really newest standard very quickly, like everybody going to mobile and not really having a PC, desktop PC at home. Just leapfrogging all that technology. So we've experienced in many workflows, be it professional recording for E&G crews or also the live performance segment, that India has a very creative way of finding solutions to problems. And that was, on the one hand, very inspiring for us to also get to new ideas, to feed that back into our development teams. But at the same time, we also saw that our products would fit a country and a culture where music and festivals are just ubiquitous, that our products would be a big benefit for the artists and the film production industry.
You're the third generation in the Sennheiser family to take charge of the company's operations. How would you say has the company's philosophy changed towards doing business globally as well as in India?
I think in the last 15 years, we have done a tremendous effort in making our products much smarter and connected. So in the business communication side, as well as on the pro audio side, these are all connected systems that need to be part of a larger ecosystem to create the experience, be it a ceiling microphone that's built in and is connected to Crestron or QSys devices and with speakers from other brands. So the whole system and the collaboration amongst these companies is absolutely key for the experience. Same for the live performance festivals. So I think this is the biggest change also in the time where my brother and I are responsible, that we push all products towards being interconnected IoT devices rather than just singular devices with one purpose.
What would be the one major change in trends that you've seen in recent times in the audio industry? Except for AI.
Yeah. Okay, except for AI. A large trend is that all products also in the audio industry start to use digital standards for transmission. While in the past, computer has communicated via IP and audio did their own thing, it's now all merging. So that there's audio over IP, there's AES-67 standards being used, Dante being used. And so suddenly those standards that come from the IT world are adopted by the audio world. And that offers the opportunity to really connect all the different devices that usually were just singular individual devices that you would only connect to a console. So this is definitely a large trend besides AI. And the third very, very large trend is immersive audio production. So that just plain stereo or even 5.1 is not good enough in most of the cases. People want be it film production, but also music production. People want higher order immersive formats like Sony 360 or Dolby Atmos or Sennheiser Ambio. So an opportunity to really immerse in the sound rather than just to listen to a stereo picture.
How much big of a role does innovation play in Sennheiser's approach of doing business, and how much do you spend on annually on research, development, innovation?
Innovation has been a stronghold of Sennheiser always for the last 80 years.
Okay.
And we have, in the past, we've had very often technological innovations that then led to different opportunities on the customer side. In recent years, we also learned to innovate in the other way around, to really get a lot more customer in and use even co-creation approaches with end users in developing products. Like with Pink, we've developed a headset specifically for her because she wanted to do her artistic tour. So working with artists, working with engineers and co-creating innovation is now increasingly important for differentiating in the market.
Okay.
And that we also have a strong budget behind that. So we're almost close to 10% of revenue that we spend on R&D, which is even for a high-tech company on the high side.
You mentioned Pink, and overall Sennheiser has a history of collaborating with artists, right? Which acts as a very natural form of marketing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actual marketing, Sennheiser is not very big on advertising like other brands are, for example, DJI. Why is that, and what is the approach of the company when it comes to hardcore marketing?
We think that the best marketing and the best advertising is really the proof point in the marketplace, and to a large degree also word of mouth. Because when you see an artist that you look up to on stage with a certain microphone, and you are also in the music somehow, I think that is more inspiring to really buy those products than paid media. Of course, we also do that, particularly the part that we had sold off a few years ago, the consumer business, the headphone business. There, the traditional paid media is more relevant. But when it comes to the professional world, I think that the brand and the users of the brand are a much stronger testament to the quality than an advertising campaign.
Okay. Not just singers and artists, even Indian politicians. All the ministerial interviews, every one of them has Sennheiser mics, by the way. But yeah. Okay. How much is your annual spending on marketing, by the way?
Well, we're not disclosing these individual figures on those. So, but we're always trying to balance because, like I said, we're probably investing more into the relationship with with the artists, with the sound engineers and the like, because being featured in the Super Bowl halftime show or being featured in Prime Minister Modi's main conference room, that is much more important for us than paid media. Therefore, our marketing spend is very often just to spend time with our peer group and our customers and make sure we do trainings, we do sessions with them where they can learn, where we can learn. And this is much more of our way of spending.
Okay. Great answer. You do know, by the way, you gave me my headline, right?
That was?
Being in Prime Minister Modi's press conferences is more important to us.
Yes.
Anyways, will I be correct in saying that in 2023, your annual revenue was 527 million euros?
That's correct.
What's the figure for 2024?
That's not been disclosed yet. So, you have to wait for around end of May, early June, when we have our board meeting then.
Okay. And I think the answer will be similar if I ask you, what's your target for 2025 fiscal?
Yeah, that's also, we will not disclose our targets there. That's only known to the teams. But what I can say, particularly now coming to India, with the exception of 2021 and the COVID year, or 2020, we've had growth every single year of the last 16 years, and we're expecting also growth. So we had good growth last year, and we're expecting strong growth this year. So that is a trend I can definitely give.
Okay, no percentages as well.
No.
Okay, great.
Double digit.
Got it. You gave a small answer on how innovation plays a big role for Sennheiser. But then there's also a part where the brand has to maintain its heritage. Mm-hmm. So is there a battle in the boardroom ever, or in the meeting rooms ever, where there's a fight between innovation versus heritage? That yes, you need to innovate, but at the same time, you need to preserve your heritage as well.
Actually, I think it's two vectors of the same target. Strong innovation creates strong heritage. So I think for our customers, the fact that I'll give you an example. We've just launched Spectera, a new transmission, a new wireless ecosystem for the audio world with microphones and in-ear monitors and others.
Right.
That is something that is very new, and it allows a lot of opportunity, but it's also a leap of faith for the industry to trust in a totally new transmission logic going forward. Here, the heritage plays an extremely important part, because we've proven over the last 60, 70 years that whenever we've brought a groundbreaking technology to the market, it would really move the needle for the customers. So it was always good for the customer. It allowed them to do more, to do better, to do easier. And I think there is where heritage and innovation comes perfectly together, that it creates the trust in the ability of the company to bring out something new that is really a game changer in the marketplace, so that they're adopting these new technologies for the greater good of their own business. And here's where heritage and innovation really perfectly plays together.
While discussing about the future trends in the audio industry, we did mention AI, but we didn't elaborate on it. Do you feel that in the audio industry, AI will play a bigger role than it is already playing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How?
I see that the function AI has as a catalyst of innovation in many areas also applies to the music and the audio business. While in the past, for instance, you would need to have an extremely sensitive microphone for an extremely good recording, probably a average microphone plus AI is getting you already at 80% or at 90%. So the main difference really is the last 10%. So I think it's just also for us reducing the effort on the things where we can use AI and use the resources to get the extra 10 or the extra 20% on top of it. So it's more like the making the solution perfect, because we don't have to put effort in achieving the first 80%. And here it's whether it's audio treatment in denoising, or just using AI instead of DSP algorithms. I think there's endless opportunities, but also to make our product smarter, like a ceiling microphone that can say the difference between a coffee machine grinding in the corner and a person speaking, because it has the ability to check speech. I think those are applications which suddenly allow the product to be much smarter and in a much quicker way, because all we need to do is train it on a new pattern and not really go back to the drawing board and invent a totally new product. So it is definitely a catalyst for new possibilities and innovation.
Since we are on the topic of AI, there's been a lot of chatter, lots of discussions of whether conventional creation tools like cameras and pro audio equipment will be replaced by something that's way more easily accessible, like smartphones, because now smartphones are getting technologies due to hardware improvements, AI, where they can get very good quality video as well as audio. I recently used the Apple iPhone 16 Pro, and the voice audio modulation in there is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I can be at the center of a busy marketplace and it can shun out all the noise in the background. Do you see that happening in the future, or no, there will always be a place for conventional audio equipment?
I see it happening everywhere. So it very much depends on the job you want to get done. But I also see it in a recording studio, where maybe in the past you had to take a second take because something went wrong. Maybe you can just erase it. I mean, we got used to it through digital film, and so that, and there was still traditional analog filming, and then there was digital film. I mean, just using a filter that optimizes a picture is totally common already. So we're not even questioning whether a picture was tampered with or not. So almost every picture that is published somewhere has been optimized. Why not with audio? I think that's just a natural thing that will flow into probably most audio productions, just because it makes it easier for the operator to not need to worry about a lot of things, but the output is always good. So I think it takes away a lot of effort that in the past would need to be handled manually, so that the artist or the operator or the recording engineer can really put their creativity into something else, which is beyond what AI can do.
That being said, there still are great directors, great producers who still use film for their movies and they later convert it to digital.
Yeah.
Scorsese, I think even Quentin Tarantino. But yeah, I got your point. Right now, what would you say is the biggest challenge for Sennheiser as a company, both globally and in India?
I think an important factor for us is that we are increasing the speed of innovation, because the trends are also increasing in their speed. I think new products will come out in the market in a faster fashion. And I think our ability to not just bring out groundbreaking technologies every 10 years, but also to innovate quicker with end user feedback and co-create products, I think that is a part that we're focusing on to get better at. One of the key levers to do that is software-defined functionalities in a lot of our products, where we can iterate every sprint, every 3 to 6 weeks. If there's a new feature request, while in the past we had to do a hardware revision and which was take us probably 12 to 18 months, we can now in many products just add software features, which makes us much quicker in adapting to new feature requests or trends.
You and your brother are co-CEOs, right? I got to know this and I was very curious. How do you divide responsibilities? Who brings what to the table? If you could help us understand that a bit.
We don't. I think that's the secret. We don't divide responsibilities because we have very different education. I'm an engineer and I worked in that field, electronic engineer and manufacturing engineer. My brother is a designer, industrial designer, and he worked for Procter & Gamble and for those companies. I worked for Hilti in the construction. So we have very different upbringing in terms of education, but we share a lot of common beliefs and values. Therefore, dividing responsibility would mean that I, with my pair of eyes, look at things in a certain way, and he does it with his pair of eyes. And we decided that it makes more sense that we have two different perspectives on the same topics, which would create better solutions than just everybody focusing on where they, at least on paper, seem to be most capable. That's why my brother loves to have a discussion with me on technology innovation, and I'd love to have a discussion with him on marketing campaigns. But we're just wired a little bit differently. Therefore, we're fighting for the best solution, and I think we can just add more value to the company if we don't divide our duties, but we're really looking at the same problems with two different eyes.
Is influencer marketing something that you are looking into?
Absolutely.
You are?
Yeah, we're using influencer marketing also here in India. We have a couple, I think almost 200 people that we're working with on a regular basis. So that this is an important channel to shape also perception. But we do it, we do it in a very credible way. We don't want any celebrity just to promote products who are not
which is the norm.
Generally, yeah. But we want people that are genuinely connected to our industry.
Okay.
So an artist. So if an artist promotes washing powder, that is what is the typical celebrity marketing does. What we're doing is we're making sure that there's a credible connection between the use of the product and the person being seen with the product. So I think that's most important for us.
What is the big picture for Sennheiser at this moment going forward? Is it getting more of the market share? It is increasing revenue? It is establishing the brand better? Is it word of mouth? What is it?
I think these are all interconnected. Ultimately, we're here to make business, to give the world better and more audio products, which should result in higher revenue and therefore also higher brand recognition. So they're very closely connected. What's really driving us is how can we enable our customers with tools that unleash their creativity, both on stage, in recording environment, in a meeting room, so that we want to provide them with technology that is not showing them the limits of what's possible, but is actually opening new opportunities for being more creative, because technology is no longer a limiting factor. And this is really what's driving us, and this is how we believe this is the bigger picture in everything that we do, that we're removing boundaries of technologies to let people do what they really want to focus on.
My next question is not from the business perspective, but you as a co-CEO, as a leader of the business, and just as a human being, how does it feel to be responsible for an 80-year-old company with a legacy so deep, so deeply rooted in the audio industry, and being responsible for making sure that the company grows and develops?
I think it's a privilege and a responsibility at the same time, because it's on top of it, it's also my name on this product. So we see the responsibility and to develop what was given to us, almost like a trusted person, and to develop it for the next generation, and to do all the necessary changes in product, in customers, in business, as such, so that at one day we can hand over a healthy and a good company to the fourth generation. And that comes with sometimes sleepless nights, sometimes with great joy, but I think it's all part of the package.
What are the new markets that you're looking into in terms of expansion? Right now, the majority share of your revenue comes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, in case I'm not wrong.
The US also is a very strong market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any new markets that you're looking into expansion?
I think globally we don't have a market that we want to expand into very soon, because I think there's still enough untapped potential in the markets that we play right now. But what we do expand is just different verticals, like the automotive business, which we've just launched 2 years ago. We are now featured in 3 different car brands, the British sports car brand Morgan Motors, then the German as part of the Volkswagen Group Cupra, and now since this year also Smart. So in these cars you have Sennheiser audio systems. We fully designed and also branded by Sennheiser, and that will help us on the one hand to get brand exposure to a lot more customers. On the other hand, it also helps us to bring immersive audio experiences to the masses, because the car is such a defined environment that creating a truly immersive audio experience like we do is not easy, but it's at least achievable much better than if you were at the big venue.
Any similar projects in India with Indian car manufacturers anytime soon?
Not for now. Not for now. We have we focus first.
Why so?
Yeah, because there's so much untapped potential already. I mean, we're in Germany and we don't even have a premium German car brand yet as our customers. So we probably need to do our homework first there.
Okay, makes sense. I guess we have everything we wanted. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great chatting with you.
It was my pleasure.
And
thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. So, yes, that was the entire episode about the interview with Dr. Andreas Sennheiser, the co-CEO of one of the biggest, if not the biggest, audio equipment manufacturer in the whole world. I hope you liked the video. For more such interesting tech content and interviews with global tech leaders, do follow BWTV and BW Businessworld. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.